Hello world! Welcome to Learning Java, one byte at a time. This is video 24 in a tutorial series geared at bringing the wonderful wide world of Java to those with little or no programming experience. Now in the past couple of videos, we actually did begin to design some components for an application which was supposed to return a blue book value for a vehicle object. And in rethinking this, I decided we're going to take a new approach and scrap everything we had written so far and start from scratch. So starting fresh, we're going to have an application that's based on the same idea, and for a little bit more work, we're going to have a lot more fun and a ton more functionality. So we're going to wind up with a fully functional application, which is going to be quite a bit more sophisticated than the original one we were working on. And as a way of wrapping up this whole tutorial series, I figured this would just be a really fantastic way to do that, because from start to finish, we're going to have something that you can add to your repertoire as being a finished product, and hopefully entice you to continue on the journey of learning Java. And so this application is going to be called Bookr, and as I mentioned, based on the same idea, you will be able to create a vehicle object and give it attributes. It's going to use a Blue Book calculator to calculate those attributes and come up with a value for that object. But then, on top of that, it's going to have the functionality of dynamically generating a sales ad for that vehicle so that you could then sell it. And so, again, it's going to be quite simple, but a lot of fun to build. And I have a finished product over here that we can go ahead and take a look at to see how it works. So you see, this is by no means a 5-star application. It's actually quite simple. It's a graphical user interface that's going to be native to the operating system that the user has. It's got a fun little title here that says Bookr, a vehicle appraisal application. At the top here we have a small image, which is the logo of the application, and we have several text fields, radio buttons, checkboxes with their titles that allow the user to input information about the vehicle. As added functionality, we can create a new project, which will clear out all of the information here. We can save our project or load a project, which gives us access to the database functionality. And then down here is the real gem of the app. It's the generate ad button, which will dynamically generate from a pre-written text a sales ad for the vehicle, complete with the calculated Blue Book value. And so, why are we going to start from scratch? Why this application? Well, for one, it looks a lot nicer, and it's a fully functional app, and we're getting away from that console input and output, and getting a little bit more exposure to the graphical user interface that Java has to offer through the components called JavaX Swing. Also, this will give us the chance to approach it from good design principles called single responsibility principle, and we're going to build this using what's called the MVC design pattern, and that's model view controller. This is something that's based on the architecture we mentioned in videos before this that separate the presentation layer from the database layer from the business layer. We're also going to use some design patterns that are very popular in the industry, such as the singleton design pattern and the factory design pattern. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and have a quick demonstration of this final product so we know what we're going to be working towards, and then we'll move on to the next video where we'll actually begin to, over the next 10 or 15 videos, build this application from start to finish. So, first let's come up with a project name. We'll call this one Jolene. And Jolene is going to be a Chevy Tahoe. She's going to be a 2015 at a base cost of $42,000. The transmission will be automatic, the drive will be rear wheel, and we'll give all the safety features, airbags, ABS, and rear view camera. This is going to be a performance grade model with 98,000 miles. We are going to say it has one previous owner, and it is complete with keyless entry, premium sound, and GPS navigation, and it is of course a utility class vehicle. The commission percent is just going to be what we want to make for selling the vehicle, so we'll say we're going to pay ourselves 5% of the vehicle cost, and this vehicle has no accident history, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. So if we come down here, we're going to generate the sales ad, and you see that a text area has appeared with some text in it, and this is just a pre-written sales ad that I've had saved in the same directory that Java has gone through, and after using a calculator function to come up with the Blue Book total, it has taken that text and it has dynamically plugged in all of the attributes into the text to create something of a sales ad. And so if we come down here, we can go to Save Project, just to demonstrate the save functionality. We'll call this one Jolene. And it says Jolene Save Successful. Up here we'll click New Project and it clears everything out. And just to show that this actually was saved, we're going to go back over here to Load Project. And we're going to find Jolene, open her up, and you see everything is automatically filled back in. And if we generate the sales ad again, we have down here the dynamically generated sales ad. And so, again, nothing that's incredible, but it is a fully functional app, and this is going to be quite a lot of fun to build. And so we're going to call it good at this video. We'll see you back in the next video where we're actually going to begin to take on this process and hopefully have a lot of fun in doing that. And so thank you so much for watching. We will see you again in the next video.